Oh, we are but charming young men full in heart and body and soul. Time has test us true, and shall we? I don't know. I had this song. I've had an idea for. There used to be fat men clubs in New York, and anytime I see a picture of it, I'm always like, I always have an idea for like the song that they should sing. It's like, oh, we are the fat men of New York. We are big and body, big in soul, and big in all we had. In charity, we speak in fully parameters of all that we can see. 'Cause we are the fat man. And that's kind of all I have. Clearly, I'm destined to be a great songwriter. The music is too loud again. Anyways, we're still doing the same thing. It's Lizard, the focus. Yes, it is. It is next week. I'm not. I don't want it to be my birthday. I hated turning 30. I'm gonna be 31. I don't want that. Jeez. I have 9 years left till 40. I'm 32. I don't like being 30. Damn it, I'm still living a 20s lifestyle. It's pathetic now. How's it going, Liz? Hello, Purple. How's it going? Hope you're... No. I don't want to be 20. I want to be 25. That's what I want to be. I feel like 25 is you're old enough to start living your life the way you want to, but you're young enough that people are still like, oh, you can do whatever. 30, you're like trapped. Yeah. Yeah, because you're old enough that you get to be on your... Yeah, when you're 30, you're a fucking loser already. Hey, Purple, how's it going? 30's great. You'll love being older, trust me. No. I actually don't mind... being 30. It's just, I don't like... No worries, Liz. No worries. I don't mind being 30. I do mind, like... I just don't... Like... I don't mind being older. I do mind the fact that people like have like all this expectation of me now that I'm older. I'm like, I don't. I was a fuck up in my 20s. You think I'm gonna like be less of a fuck up now in my 30s? I just learned how to do it better. Yeah. Did you get a job? I'm hearing good things. You get a job. Purple, that is fantastic. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. No worries. I get it. I got it. Big corporate job. Are you working for Halo? Oh, you're not in games at the moment. Lizard, are you in the mob? Are you working for the Mobia? Well, I'm happy that at least your like job, you have money coming in. So what are you? What was I gonna say? I think that's a good description of your lifestyle, Purple. So what have you been keeping yourself occupied with besides the mysterious job that isn't for the mob? If anybody's curious, am starting a Substack. And I know I've said I've wanted to do this before, but I'm actually pretty sincere about it this time. Yes, I know you sub, but there's a second person in here that I'm going to try and get to sub as well. It's a newsletter. It'll go right to your email. It's free. It's going to be free. Don't worry. There's a pay option. But Purple, in many ways, I feel that is your lifestyle. There is a pay option. Purple, if anybody ever wants to subscribe to this Substack thing, this link right now, that would be very much appreciated. Hoping to get to about 100 free subscriptions before I release it on the 21st. Although I'm probably not going to get that, but still. It's free. It is free, Purple. It is free. All you must do is simply put your email in it, and it is free for the world. A free service for free. It is a free service. There is a payment option, but I will not be using it. It is free for right now. It will be 99% free, with the maybe once or twice a year I will release a longer form fiction thing that will cost money, but it is free. Almost all of it will be free. It would be very appreciated if you sign up for that. And I will try and keep as many things free as possible. Playing any games? Diablo 4? How is Diablo 4? That's good, that's good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nobody noticed it. Well, people did notice it. Listen, Lizard, I'm going to be honest with you. Did I get this haircut partly because I kept getting Sam Bankman-Fried jokes thrown my way? A little bit, yes. Was that the primary motivator and probably why I'm going to keep it short for a very long time until at least until SBF is out of the out of the news? Yes, that is what's going to be happening because I am tired. LA was fine. It was good to see my friends. I don't know. I always feel like I do vacations wrong. Yeah. I'll be honest, going there kind of made me realize finally I don't really want to live there anymore. In a lot of ways. I went out there and I'm like, those terrible, damn that Veronica Roth and Ali Condi. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's complicated. It's kind of complicated because it's a weird feeling. But as I was walking, one thing I'm sick of here, especially here in Houston, is that I'm tired. I don't like driving everywhere. I don't like driving anywhere. I don't like driving everywhere. I don't like how hot like all the concrete makes it. And as I was walking around LA, I was like, "Oh, this is just the same as Houston. I have to drive everywhere. There's all these hot concrete parking lots. It's like this is like terrible infrastructure, and it's like 5 times as expensive as Houston. And I don't have like my family isn't there, Yeah. You should. It's like my family, and then I'm just, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just like, it was kind of miserable getting around it, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I want to, like, experience this again? Living here, I get to live in a nice big house. I get, I'm with people I care about. And, And LA is so expensive, and there's just no LA never feels local, if that makes sense. Like because everything's so expensive. I don't know. I'm sure there's like great culture that exists within LA. The one that existed before all the rich, terrible people came in and drove out all the Los Angelinos, people from Los Angeles. But it just feels so misbegotten. I don't know. I'm just burnt out from it. And I love LA. I liked my time in LA. I thought it was good. I liked the people, that they're nice, but I'm also just like, I just don't feel anything for that city. Like, it was my dream. It was my dream to live in LA when I was a kid. That was, like, my ultimate dream. And then I did it, and then I went back, and it's like, I don't know. I just didn't feel the passion for that city anymore. Does that make sense? It's hard to put in words exactly, which is bad because I'm technically a writer. I don't know. The people are nice. I think, yeah. LA is great if the city wouldn't be there. If the city of LA didn't exist, LA would be really nice. No. The problem with LA is that everybody wants. So many people want. It's just too expensive. Yes. We must rebuild the city of Los Angeles. I just think it's too expensive, is the thing. And partly is my feeling. Yes, I want to destroy it all. Watch me say this. Yeah, well, it's expensive and it's no more convenient than Houston. And that's what kind of, when I realized it's outrageously expensive, but it's about the same experience I have like getting around here in Houston. I was like, okay, nope, not doing this anymore. I'm done. And plus, I want to be, I want to be indie now, so. Like, I want to be on the, I want to be an indie filmmaker and stuff. So I don't need to be in Los Angeles to do that. Anyways, that's my general feelings. The funny thing is with writing, what you find usually, and this is a piece of advice for everybody, just try and shorten things like sentences. Usually, like look at your sentencing. Really think to yourself, is this the most efficient way to say this? And usually, cutting it down is the better way to do it. Usually, not always. Lizard, let me tell you what I am writing. This is going to be an article on Ulysses. Well, we're having a conversation. Well, Purple, we're having a long conversation here about a dream. Our dreams and how they're unfulfilled and how they're changing over time. Listen, Purple. Let me be frankly honest with you. So Nova, I have never read any of these books and I don't have any opinion about them. Welcome to the chat. I'm very glad that you're passionate about them, though. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. How is life treating you? Tell me. A noble goal, a prestigious goal, even. Okay, but you said you just read 3 of them. Tell me. Purple, tell me. What's your opinion? What's your opinion about what is your favorite genre? What is your favorite genre? Okay, what would you say is your favorite post-apocalyptic story in YA? Tell me. I'm curious to hear. And Nova, tell me a little bit about your world map. I would love to hear. Oh, the Hemingway app is a little. It's a great app. It's all about trying to get you to write a little bit cleaner. So it examines to see how many adverbs you used, how many times you use the passive voice, how many times your sentences go on too long. Like they have this they have hard sentences to read and very hard sentences to read. It's really good because it's a good way to edit stuff because you can just go okay, That's where I. No, it's not. It's not. It's not an AI. It's a AI that helps you edit stuff, which is useful. I think. I'm fine. I'm fine with like AI apps that help you edit. And Purple, tell me, have you ever seen the film Mad Max Fury Road? I think that's useful. I think that's like something that writers could actually use. Because editing is hard and and a lot of work, you know. And it's good to have like apps to help you like direct. Like, see, like, okay, let's see. See, like this sentence is way too long. This sentence is way too long. These two sentences right here are way too long. This sentence is nonsense. It's free. It's free. That's cool. I like that. I like that. So tell me a little bit more. This would this have started out as an MLP? Is this possibly an MLP derived thing? I had a drunken weekend in in New Zealand where I watched My Little Pony. It was very amusing. Yeah, it's very useful, I think. I like that. I like that. I always try and encourage like fan fiction people to eventually like do that. Not talking down a fan fiction, but I think it's eventually. I always prefer. I want to read people's original things more than fan fiction. No offense, fan fiction people. That's just kind of my thought process nowadays. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. How long have you been working on it? Listen, there are a lot of people out there who really love fan fiction, and I would be the last person in the world. I would be the last person in the world to like say that you shouldn't do what you enjoy, but I don't in particular. I started out with writing fan fiction. I think a lot. Yeah, those are good things. They are good things. So, Lizard, are you working on any like creative projects? You know, my favorite thing about world building is like in-universe publications and stuff. I always like creating like in-universe like publications and like organizations. Those are always my favorite thing to make. I don't know why. Like I'm doing I'm making this magazine. It's gonna be it's sort of like a humor magazine in the vein of like The Onion, but like the premise is essentially like I'm gonna try like The Onion never keeps anything consistent, which is fine. But like the thing I'm gonna try and do is like keep it consistent. So like the world will be affected by everything that happens in this. So it's essentially like an in-universe magazine for like a fantasy fictional world, you know? anyway, so I really like just making these like little like locations are fun too. What's your favorite location, Nova? Tell me. I'm curious to know. Oh! Yeah! Oh! 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 Okay, here's my question for everybody in the chat, if people are still here. If you were a professional wrestler, what would your gimmick be? Okay. Yeah. I'm not opening this up for chat, by the way. I'm not opening this up for voice chat, so. You can hang out in there, but I'm not opening this up for voice chat. Cool. You want to? Do you want to share some? I'd love to. You know, sometimes when you look at these things and you're like, oh, geez, Louise, what am I going? We do. Oh, right. This reminds me. I guess I'm promoting this because I think this is fun and I like this. I want this to be successful. What? No. Let's see. Is it still open? It should be still open. Why isn't it working? Oh. For some reason it's not working anymore. Oh well. I had donuts for charity today. Oh yeah, so Mia, my friend Mia is, if you guys are curious, I'll plug one more thing and then I'll be quiet. I'll stop plugging things. But this is for a good cause. This is for a good cause. And you'll get cheap donuts. So my friend Mia is running a charity drive, and if you donate $15, you'll get a coupon for a free dozen order of donuts from Krispy Kreme. So usually that's about like $30, I think. So you essentially get it for half price. So if you want like half price donuts and help buy books for libraries in Ohio, feel free to. I hope that link works. It worked before. Okay, last thing I'm going to plug. I'll be quiet now. It is cool. It was cool, and it was fun. It is the one time in my life that I did not feel guilty for having donuts. So, lizard. The highest grade. Well, you actually want it to go down, if that makes sense. Because what this means is, people, grade 3 children can read this. You want theoretically you want this to be as low as possible. One of the yeah, I want grade 1 kids to be able to read this. Yeah. Well, okay, if you want to know the truth of it, I'm going to spoil something for you about the media. The aim usually for a lot of newspapers and stuff is about somebody with a grade 3 education could read it. If you read most stuff, they're aiming for pretty low. They want almost anybody to be able to read the thing. A lot of books are classified as like grade 6. A lot of like higher class books are usually classified as grade 6. Yeah, well, for my purposes at least, it's good. I'm going to be honest, I used to be pretty obsessed with trying to be as fancy as possible, and nobody could understand what I was saying half the time when I wrote stuff. And I don't want that anymore. I want people to understand what I'm doing. And also, like, usually what I'm doing is like just like, and a lot of this stuff, usually when I write this stuff, is not like, beautiful verbal, like, lyric genius. It's me going like, this is the thing, it's a thing, and that's the thing, and it's a thing that does that. That's fine. That's fine. That's even writes that way. Ernest Hemingway, bro. Ernest Hemingway is one of the greatest writers of the Americas, and he tried to keep it simple and punchy. Well, the truth of it is this, Lizard. It's about, do you want to keep it simple and punchy, or do you want to to have long, complex sentences? Like, it's Faulkner versus Hemingway. Really, do you want it to be simple and punchy, implying something greater and darker? Yeah, so different, not better or worse. And I'm going to be honest, I looking back at my old writing, I need to be sort of on a strict leash on stuff. Because I can... There are times where I'm really verbose and I really like my writing, and then there's times where I have no fucking idea what I was trying to say. It's total nonsense to me, and it's just like bad writing, and people complained about it. And you know what, Lizard? At this point in my life, I want people to... I'm tired of people going like, it's dreamlike or something. I'm like, no, I was trying to just write a straight story. Nobody because my dreamlike stuff that I wrote was just me not editing well. I'm clean and punchy now. That's what I'm going for. I mean, there's no bad version of art. No, there are bad art. What the fuck am I saying? There are bad art, but there's bad art. What the fuck am I saying? Of course there's horrible art. No, what I meant to say is, like, art. A lot of artistic things are just tools. Like, Faulkner writes beautiful, like, detailed, intense sentences that can meander on, and like Faulkner is famous for writing like the longest sentence in the English language, and that's amazing to read. Faulkner has like total control, total mastery over the language, and can bend it in beautiful and amazing ways. Whereas like somebody like Hemingway is a master of like precision. Like he doesn't write a lot, but what he does says so much more than what a lesser author... He says in like 5 words what a lesser author can... Yeah. Exactly. I go, like, you'll notice this about me. I go kind of by Ebert's rule. Like, I would rather judge works on what they're trying to do rather than what I want them to be, like if, say, a movie is trying to be like a good action movie. Yeah. I don't know. I judge it as an action movie, but if a movie's trying to be a good drama, like, I don't know. It's not like... There's some very disingenuous critics, I think, out there who are like, well, Marvel isn't, say, as good as, like, like... Ant-Man 2 isn't as good as, like, A Room with a View or something. I'm like, well, those are two different... They're trying for two very different things. It's not really fair to compare them. That's not real. There was a critic once who was like... I remember watching an old Ebert Schizo thing where they were talking to another critic, and he's like, yes, Star Wars: The Emperor Strikes Back is not as good as it was a Merchant Ivory movie, like some Merchant Ivory movie, and I like Merchant Ivory movies quite a lot. Yeah, and I may have an answer. Yeah, I feel that generally. I also feel sometimes academics just don't know how to fund sometimes. I don't know. Although, coincidentally, on the other end of the scale, I really dislike how genre authors are very snippy about things that try and be different from, like, not straight genre pieces. Like, I don't think it... like, oh my god, I've had so many fucking long discussions with, like people who just, like, write sci-fi and fantasy. It's like, well, why would I want to read anything other than sci-fi and fantasy? I'm like, what? Like, I don't care about, like, anything outside of, like, sci-fi and fantasy. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. You're not... It's almost equally obnoxious for me in a lot of ways. Like, why would I want to watch, like, Howard's End is a great movie. Absolutely. When I say I like Merchant Ivory movies, I mean it, by the way. I really do like Merchant Ivory movies. Like, Howard's End is a beautiful, amazing movie containing some great performances by Anthony Hopkins and Kate Winslet and Helen Bonham Carter, and I really love that movie. But it's a English drama, about who will inherit a house. And it's like, and I've heard people go like, well, why would I want to watch something like that? Because it's about, the way these sorts of people interact and how tradition is and how, like, lonely people kind of find themselves and what it means to be, like, it's all these, like, great, like, little character moments and stuff like that, and it's beautifully set and filmed, and it can, and people are like, I don't know, and then I get, like, yeah, well, it's incredibly obnoxious. It's always obnoxious when, like, genre people are very... Well, the thing is, I think genre people, and, what is genre is so arbitrary at times. Like, people have argued to me that Kurt Vonnegut isn't science fiction, even though many of his stories are about aliens and traveling through space, and I'm like, well, I don't know what science fiction you're reading, but that sounds a lot like science fiction to me, buddy. It's so arbitrary. And there's a weird, like, hurt that I think some genre people have that, like for some reason, like they desperately want, like, their college professors to, like, go, like, well, this is as good as, like, I don't know. Who's somebody? Alice Marino. And, like, the thing about it is, your college professor who has dedicated their whole life to, like, studying the intricacies of, like, Canadian, like, short story contemporary North American short story literature, drama, is probably not going to be that, with a focus in, like, feminist literature, is probably not going to be that interested in a sci-fi story. Like, it's just not going to happen. They're just not that interested in it. They're, and that's fine. And I'm so sick of, like, genre authors, like, having this hurt, like, well, if they don't like it, then all their books are fucking stupid. It's so pathetic. I don't know. It's pathetic in a way that I can't. Sorry. But it is. Don't stop fucking trying to appease them. Do we really want? I'm a genre guy. I fucking love genre shit. But do we really want, like, what is, like, the end goal here for, like, kids to read? Like, what exactly is the end goal of all that? Like, what are we looking for? And all that. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't, like, for your mom to go, like, well, for, like, your, like, 5th grade English teacher to go, like, well, reading those X-Men novelizations actually was real literature. And there are some great, like, movie novelizations out there that maybe you could argue are great literature, but it's just, what are, yeah, exactly. I don't know. You know what it is? It's the reason fucking, that, I'm just gonna say it. Ready Player One was popular. It's the reason fucking Ready Player One was popular. There are people out there who want to contrive a whole world where, like, them sitting and playing video games and stuff was, like, the coolest, most awesome thing in the world, and that's what saved the world. Like, Ernest Cline, like, a lot of people read Andromeda. A lot of people didn't read Andromeda. I didn't. But, like, I read a little bit of it. I read this one section because I was so shocked that they had this. Like, there's this whole part where, like, Andromeda is about, like, it's like The Last Starfighter, but it's, like, badass, and, like, it's, like, all these high school like, this high school loser, like, the government comes down and says to him, like, because you're good at video games, you get to save the world. Save the world. And also, we have, like, a specially made weed just for you. And there's this super hot chick who's, like, into video games as well. And Also, your mom calls you and says, well, I guess video games weren't a waste of time. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. Hi! Hello, hello, hello! I'm doing good. Yeah. Well, fortunately, you caught me just as I was ending it. Not a huge fan of Ready Player One. That's the general consensus. I'm doing good. I'm glad to see so many new faces here in the thing today. How dare you? How dare you? Don't you know hanging out in Twitch is more important than work? So tell us a little bit about yourself, Lou. What do you do? Lou, I am working on... I'm... Oh, somebody followed me. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, random person. Lou, I am starting a little magazine, zine, fiction, humor magazine thing, newsletter. So I'm working on writing a bunch of different articles for that right now. And if you're curious and you want to follow it, it's free. It's free. I know there's a paid option, but don't worry. Don't worry about that. But if you're curious in following it, I would appreciate it immensely. If not, I get it. But so I'm just working on some articles for that. I'm gonna. There's nothing there yet. I'm planning to release it next week. The hope is that I'll have enough material prepped, so I don't have to be so intimidated by deadlines and stuff. It is cool. I'm very cool. Tell us a little about yourself, Lou. Are you a writer? Yeah. I'm not a fan of that book. I'm sorry. I know there's people out there who like it, and I don't want to rain on your parade. Listen, I'm very opinionated about a bunch of stuff, but I also am like, well, I'm also like, if you like it, you like it. It's fine. Well, it's not my favorite thing that people... There are a lot of people out there who are really into it. It's not my favorite thing. I do kind of feel bad for Ernest Cline, because he got really there were people declaring him, the embodiment of all evil, And I'm like, I think he just kind of wrote a bad book, guys. He seems like a perfectly nice individual. I don't know. I don't want to, My general opinion is always, there's nothing morally wrong with just writing a bad book. All the best stuff. Okay. What's your... I love me some good history talk. What's your particular favorite bit of history? Okay. Who could win in a fight? Samurai or Viking? All good things. Good things. All good things. It's good that young people are getting into publishing. It's a good thing. Haven't been totally convinced that the TikTok books that have been gotten popular seem to not be things I like. But I am 30 years old, and I like, and it's not, and it's fine that I don't like them. It's okay. What have you tell me? What did you learn recently in history? What's the most recent fact you learned? I have a fun one about I have a fun one about wrestling, and I have a fun one about wrestling and desegregation. It's Kofi! Hello, 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 hello. Hello, how's it going? You know what? That is a fantastic idea. I will in fact drink some coffee. How was the coffee quills? How was the stream? I hope you are doing fantastic. You're unmuted. Yes, you should draft your book. What did we get accomplished today? Yeah. It's so rare to get you unmuted coffee. It's lovely. Alex, welcome to the stream. Katie, welcome to the stream. Oh, he was ambidextrous. That's cool. Tell me a little bit about yourselves. What are you working on? What is the project? Nice! Use Google Docs. It's free. Alex, tell us a little about yourself. Yeah, Google Docs. Or For the Words, or Hemingway Editor. I don't know. I'm using Hemingway Editor right now. Well, I use it quite frequently now. It's such a great little tool for me, especially. Like the thing I really love, even though it frustrates me to no end, is like it clocks when sentences like kind of ramble on forever, which is really good. Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, and they have a desktop app. It's only like $13. Yeah. Yeah, and it clocks all the like adverbs and passive voice that you use. Gives you a kind of an impression of where the reading level is at. Mine is at grade 3, so. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I'm trying to. Oh, yes. Let me. If would it be so terrible that I could plug a project I'm working on? Thank Lou. I did not see the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. if I could. So, I'm working on a Substack, but I don't want it to be just like a normal everyday sub. So it's kind of a humor magazine. It's kind of a humor magazine. It's going to be like The Onion, but with the twist that there will be reoccurring. Everything the storylines will stay consistent, and there'll be reoccurring like characters and stuff. There's nothing there right now, but I'm gonna release it next Wednesday, which is also coincidentally my birthday. So, it'll be free. There's pay if you want to subscribe for money, lovely. But it's the content right now. The content will be free. Like almost maybe if I occasionally write like a full-length book or something, I might include it, as a paid thing. But I plan to keep the content almost completely free. So, feel free to follow. I would very much appreciate it. It's yeah. Yes, that's all you have to do. That is all you have to do. I'm calling it Ulysses just because I think that's a nice name to call it. I don't know. I came up with the idea because I was joking about Vanity Fair, because Vanity Fair is named after a novel, and I was like, it's so funny to me that like Vanity Fair just named itself after a book, like stole a book's name, and I'm like, it's like, what if I called mine Ulysses? And then I ended up kind of liking the name, so I took it. I don't know. I think it's evocative. Look for the content to be released, and I'm going to do like a 12-hour stream to promote the official release of content. Anyways, thank you all who subscribed, and if you didn't, I get it. Trust me, it's fine. Thank you. Twitch is being... I don't think so. I think it's suggesting you stuff. Yeah. If you want to subscribe to somebody else's Substack, I'll plug my friend Funk. Let me plug my friend Funk. Yeah. 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 I'll plug my friend Funk's Substack. She's the one who pointed me towards this service. And I have appeared occasionally on hers. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's very appreciated. Very appreciated. God, editing takes so freaking long. Oh, you'll see. I've got a bunch of fun stuff planned. It'll be like humor pieces, some reviews, short stories, but they're in first person, so I can claim that they were written by somebody. Oh. So Alex, what are you working on these days? Funk's also a fellow. Funk's also a streamer. So I'll plug her. She may still be on. I kind of started in the middle. It's always good. Oh yeah, Funk's still in. I'll plug her stream. Also, why not? If people are curious. Yeah, writing is always one of those things where it's just like it's hard to get back into it. Partly why I'm doing this is I want deadlines in my life again for writing. I thought stopping the deadlines and stopping, I want to be able to like go like, okay, so I have to release something. Like my plan is to release 3 articles a week, and like I just want, I want that like back in my life because it's like I'm not. Theoretically, it's great to have all the time in the world, but if you don't give yourself deadlines, sometimes it. Boy, holy heck. Yeah, exactly. It's... Sometimes I hate myself. Sometimes... I'm like, why did I write this? It's so bad. Oh, man. I just look at that and I'm just like, why did I try it? Who am I trying to be? So, is anybody reading anything interesting? No. No. Those are always trying to like just like cut. I find in my years of writing, I have found that freaking libraries. It's not like they're going up against anything. Really? Oh, that's annoying. Well, what's the point of an ebook library? It's like... It's annoying. He was not some sort of. He was. Turned from red to yellow. Yay, everybody! Yay! It's yellow now, not red. That means it's hard to read, not very hard to read. This does gamify things just a little bit. Like, gamify writing just a tiny bit. It's like, because the whole goal is to, like, get this pretty much down to 0. Like, to have 0 of these, and it's always, like, a little bit, it's, like, nice. It's, like, there are, like, just, like, nice little accomplishments and, like... We're gonna take this sentence from from the dreary dead lane of simile into the exciting new world of metaphor. Ha ha! No, that's right. Yeah. Well, so I have a whole second step I do where I listen to it read out loud, and I do even that's where like a lot more editing goes into is when I listen to it out loud and see what it actually sounds like. Yeah, there is definitely something like, yeah. Oh my god, Alex, does that freaking help me? Holy heck, does that help me? Listening to like the computer read it out loud. Oh my god, it has caught so many things that I miss all the time. I'm like, every time I do it, I'm like, there's no way. I got it all. I fixed it all. And then I listen to it and I'm like, oh right, all that stuff that I need to fix. I probably won't be doing that tonight just because it's like this one is a lot of work. Ooh, I like that. A voice from before the money. I also have this like belief in like writing, at least like personally, and there's plenty of writers who prove me wrong on this every time. So, but like personally, I believe like for myself at least that if I can just get to the basic, like the quicker I can get to the idea of a sentence, the better. It's oi, cutsy cat. Oi, hello. How's it going? Boy. Oh man, when I delivered stuff for DoorDash, I have to say the worst jobs are always like the cat, cat food delivery. Yeah, but I even think honestly, like Alex, even in the wondering stuff, I can like cut it down and get a little bit stronger. Like a big problem for me that I have with writing, I find, is a lot of sentences I'll do this like, like it'll be about a basketball, like let's say it'll be about a basketball, and then I'll do this where I go like, the thing was so simple and easy of understanding that it was there and completely totally understandable, and that it was a basketball, and I'm like, did I really need all that pretty like platter? It was, and then, yeah, it was like it was sort of a basketball like thing, and I'm like, did I need all that platter? Do you feel tough now, cutesy, cutsy? Do you feel tough? Do you feel like you could like tear open, like take a phone book and like go? Feel exhausted. Well, welcome. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna relax. We're gonna do cool, awesome things. Mostly me editing this thing down slowly but surely. Oh boy. this is punchier if I just... Haha. That is punchier. You know, as they say in as the great bard Shakespeare once pontificated through his characters in the great epic tragedy that was Hamlet, the melancholy Dane, in a scene where Hamlet's advisor, where Hamlet's treacherous uncle advisor says, of course, the immortal line that all great comedians carry with them in all lines of time and history: brevity is the soul of wit. Okay, QC, how do we get you to that point? What do we need to do to get you to that point? Shall we do a writing sprint? Writing sprint. I feel very smug right now that I emulated the original joke. That's wonderful, Alex. If I enjoy talking to you, and if you enjoy talking to me, remember that following me is always appreciated. Just gotta click that little heart. No worries. It doesn't matter when you get there. It only matters that you get there. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Cutesy, shall we do a sprint? Thank you. I always need it. You know what? She assumed. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, where's my headphones? Wait, let me check my sprint screen. I'll tell you something, Cutesy. My sprint screen often gets a little bit thing. We'll see. Please be good. Please be good. Please. Yo, it's wrong. Ow, you. Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay. One second. I'm just gonna plug my headphones in. Don't you love? Don't. Oh, and I did not see Wiley. Thank you for the follow. Jeez, sorry. I gotta get my alerts up and working again. I used to have them and then they stopped working for some reason. I'll fix that. That's on me. I need to fix that. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 74, 54, 2, 86, 12, claw, 13, 12. Holy heck! 1 second. Writing sprint postponed for just a minute. Raven! Raven, thank you so much for the raid! Thank you so much for the raid. We're just getting raided all over the place. Good morning! Good morning. How are you today, my friend? How are things? He vanished. Listen, in about an hour, I'm gonna crash from this coffee, and I'll sleep like a baby. Upside down, Sean went back to his evil upside down lair. Raven, it is good to see you. Exactly. No, yes, exactly like a baby. I'll say this. As I get older, I notice it has been slightly more of a struggle to be able to sleep throughout the night without having to get up to go to the bathroom a couple of times. So, the older we get, the more we return to baby form, I think. Oh, poor baby. So overrated. Why can't we just stay little babies forever? I saw a report once that said that essentially, I saw this video in school once that's always stuck with me, that essentially when you're a baby, your senses are never sharper than when you're a baby. So like you can hear, like, everything is hyper sharp, and it's almost like being high on LSD. And it's like the older you get, the less high on LSD you are. And it's just like a tragedy. Raven! What have you been up to? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I have to get prostate exams every once in a while. Don't get Crohn's, everybody. Don't get Crohn's. It is not a fun... it's pretty mild, but it's still not fun to have. I have Crohn's disease, so every few months I have to go to a building and talk very deeply to doctors, several people, like several strangers, about my butt and what's going on with my butt and how my butt is doing and how does it feel, and then they have to ask, Fong, jeez Louise. Yeah. We're just getting rage all the time. Yes. It does. You know what doesn't suck about getting older? How was the stream? Did you finally, were you able to romance the princess? You know what doesn't suck as you get older, and I'll just very briefly plug my little project that I'm working on. I'm starting a Substack. It is going to be kind of a humor fiction magazine, and it's I hope people like it. And it's free. I'm not charging anything. I'm not going to charge anything. Maybe later down the line, but I'll not for the foreseeable future. And if people would want to follow it, I would very much subscribe to it. Because I would very much appreciate it. And listen, I'm turning 31 soon, and I would and it's going to launch. There's nothing there yet, but I would appreciate a follow to Ulysses, which is what I'm calling it. Yeah. Not for another week. Not for another week. I'll be 31 on Wednesday, which is on the 21st. But anyway, so if people want to follow it, again, I very much appreciate it. Let me see. Does that work? Let me try that again. There we go. That's the real link. That's the real link. That's the real link if people want to follow that link. I would very much appreciate you subscribing to that. Yeah, I'm a regular Zoomer. Yeah, like I grew up like with TikTok. Like TikTok is like super old to me. Like Instagram is like where old people are, and I really like. Oh God, I don't know enough about young people. Really young people. I know they like TikTok and books about like shitty dudes romancing girls. I do hate Instagram. I hate it quite a lot. It's like, it is not my favorite thing in the world. Yeah. Wait, you still don't have... Do people not have... Does MySpace still exist? I'm now curious. It still does. Wow, there are still people on MySpace. Kendrick Lamar is still on MySpace. Jeez. And he has 97,000 followers. Okay. A lot of content seems to not be working all that well. Yeah. Well, I left the TikToks. Listen, it's generational. As the Zoomers grow up, eventually TikTok will turn into a platform for old people, and some new platform will come along that everybody will hate. It is life. It is the circle of life. Hey, I'm young enough that I remember when Tila Tequila was like a really big deal. I'm old enough to remember the Tila Tequila as like a celebrity that everybody talked about. Yeah. It's not a bad place to be. Yeah. No, it's not. Oh my God, here's the question. Friend. Does Friendster still exist? Do Wonderful. I wouldn't want any other way. Do you know it's now owned by a Russian company? So there's like all the like I know there's been a big issue like with posts like criticizing Putin, because LiveJournal was always more popular in Russia than it was in the U.S. So yeah, the Russians are really into it. So, but gee, yeah. Okay. So when did Facebook come out? Because we're getting dangerously close to somebody my age being eligible for president. Yeah. Okay. Facebook came out in 2005, I guess, is when it first officially came out. Yeah, so. Okay. I mean, there's already a Zoomer in the White House, in Congress, so. Okay, so. Ooh. That was 18 years ago, so that means that there are people of voting age now who have never had a world without Facebook. Think about that. Terrifies you, yes. Right? Oh, to be fair, Facebook is now like old aunt. Like my mom really likes Facebook, or my aunt and my aunts, my mom, like all really like Facebook, and it's like just a place for them to share conspiracy. Not my mom. My mom isn't a conspiracy theorist, but my aunts are definitely conspiracy theorists. Holy shit, are they? Texas side mainly. They one of my aunt told me recently that they're like, oh yeah, Trump and Biden were both murdered and replaced by exact replicas. Like, this is a thing. Yeah, exactly. It's like an obligation. And inexplicably, several businesses are still there for some reason. I don't know why. Whereas Substack, Callie! Whereas Substack, the social media network of the future, is where I am dedicating a lot of work to right now, and would really appreciate any follows that people could give me. Is alive and well. And it's totally free. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with Substack. Callie, how's it going, my bud? I mean, here's the thing though with funk with Substack is that if like Substack ever goes default, you have that you have that list of people. You have that list of people already there. So all you have to do is transfer it to another another newsletter site, and you're back up and running. That's why. I don't know. Try it. I know Substack is kind of nipping at the heels of Twitter, so. Those teenagers at Subway, always judging, always. Who appointed them archdeacon? Yeah. No, what are you talking about, Rabin? Twitter is cool and awesome as other. Yeah. Good. That was stupid. Like, here's the thing. Why would any business ever go on Twitter if they can't link things? Like, anybody any influencer like who has like a following on Twitter, meatball subs are freaking delicious. Will want to link stuff eventually. It's Twitter is part of an ecosystem. For some reason, Musk didn't think that. Like, you know, Twitter. It's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikToks, and you know, each person will probably have stuff on each. I mean, obviously, we're all just waiting for the blue sky revolution, right, guys? That's what we're all waiting for, right? For Jack, the Messiah Dorsey to like descend from on top of that mountain and finally open up the blue sky to the rest of the world. I do like, I don't know. Twitter is the exact sort of wrong platform for me. Because I feel no matter what, it like accentuates everybody's anger. And I'm like, I was like, you know, like one of the things that finally made me quit Twitter was like, I realized whenever a new movie came out, I wasn't looking forward to it. Like there was like so many movies, when like a new movie, I wasn't excited for new movies because I'm like, oh, the discourse on Twitter is going to suck about this. And I'm like, you know, a fundamental, simple pleasure in life of like being excited for a new movie, watching a new movie, and enjoying it suddenly became like this, like, horrible chore because you'd have people just endlessly, like, angrily debating it. And I'm like, you know what? Life is not worth this. Life is not this. Yeah. There's just no way. Well, you know, I want to. I did that too, but I want to follow, like, you know, I wanted to talk to my friends online. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You need to just block everything. But that's the thing. It's like, at this point in my life, Raven, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not playing their games anymore. I'm gonna mostly try and go. So I'm trying to be like independent now, and like just build my own little like world outside of like gatekeepers and stuff. Because you know what, trying to appease them never made me happy. So I just want to be I just want to be independent now. Would I like somebody else to do all the work for me? A little bit, but I'm not. I'm done. Yeah. Listen, you know, the thing was, like, with traditional publishing, I liked... There's a part of me that wishes... Like, I like the idea of traditional publishing, that they'll hire the editors for you, they'll do all the marketing and all the research, and, like, you know, like, that's what the point of, like, traditional editing, publishing is for, you know. Like, they have these apparatuses set up that they can do all this stuff, and you can just worry about the writing. The problem with that now is that they seem to be getting cheap on all that stuff. Like, I see no real promotion from, like, and they expect the writers to do a lot of their own marketing, a lot of their own, like, editing and stuff like that. And I'm like, so the whole point of doing this is for you to, like do all the, like, stuff that isn't writing for me. And then you're like, well, you can do all the writing. You can do all that stuff too, right? So, like, if I'm in charge of my own marketing, in charge of my own editing, then what the fuck am I hiring you people? What the fuck am I, like, entrusting you people for? Anyways, exactly, and that's the other thing. Well, you know, like indie stores are still surviving. Yeah. Exactly. So what it like most people just buy books online and it's like, you know. I still want, you know, I'd love to be traditionally published, but I'm like I just don't have the energy to try and be that person anymore. Let's see. That makes sense. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. 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 Oh no, I agree with you. I agree with you. There's still a lot of practicalities to it. And you know, realistically, if yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's still a lot of practicalities to it, but that's why I'm keeping things short, so I don't have to spend. So I can mostly just edit on my own. I mean, I. But you know, if only there was somebody in this chat offering reasonable editing services, offering reasonably priced editing services. Cough, cough, funk, cough, and proofreading services. I don't know anybody like that, funk. Surely there's nobody here. Pitch yourself. Pitch yourself. There was a storm. Hey, the second you get paid for it, you're a professional. That's what being a professional means. Yeah. Also, if you want to follow another great Substack, Funk here has her Substack. Mine. Am I trying to maybe get mine to 100 before I even release it? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. My theory about all this is, if we can get frank about Twitch for a second. Twitch is doing weird, stupid things that I don't like. And there are a lot of people in a lot of like big streamers are talking about moving over to YouTube. Follow me on YouTube, by the way. Sorry, I get very pluggy sometimes, especially because I'm starting new projects. But if you're curious, I've seen people talk about just moving to YouTube or even, God forbid, Kick. That thing's gonna. And I don't know. And I've had the thought about like Substack. That Substack is like a. What, you don't want to go to Kick, founded by Ice Poseidon? Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But I'm trying to keep my options opened here. Listen, if you are a professional, yeah. If you are, I'm just gonna say this, general opinion. If you are like a online personality, and you know how to work online personality stuff, if you're like doing stuff online, like never be like, platforms aren't your friends. Like platforms are not your friends. And. Yeah, so never always look for a better option for yourself. Yeah, exactly. So Twitch is not my friend. YouTube is not my friend. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, I agree. You could also try streaming live on TikTok. Yeah. Which I technically can, even though TikTok was a horrible drain on my life, and I'm much happier without it. But it's like, none of these people are your friends, and you shouldn't treat them like that. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm the type of guy, like, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all, like, hit me in the exact wrong spot, in that I can get very addicted to it very quickly. I get very addicted to, like, just instant gratification like that. And it's like, I realized at some point I need to, like, Exactly. Publishers aren't your friends. Like, would I love to get traditionally published? Yes, I would. Do I secretly suspect to get traditionally published nowadays, you need to be able to, you need to bring your own following in? Yes, I also think that. Is that maybe why I started doing this stuff in the first place? Yes. Yeah. No, yeah, they're not your friends. No, they are like your... They are like your business partners, and like they're not even partners. That implies too. You're entering in a relation. Yeah, Yeah, I did that too, Coffee. I did that too. But they're it's a complex why I started doing this. One, I needed motivation. I needed motivation to write, and doing this every day is motivation for me to write. But two was like, yeah. The other was like, it was during the pandemic, and holy shit was I lonely. Like, holy shit was I just lonely. Like, I was so fucking lonely. Like, I was kind of going crazy being lonely. And three, it was like, and then there was another part of me, it's like, if this was successful, if this is successful, I could, this would probably help me out in my career if I had people. Yeah. You know, and doing this is the only reason I have any sort of audience whatsoever. So, you know, I'll forever be grateful for it, but it's like I'm also like I've been around long enough to know like where are all the people who are really popular on Mixer, you know? We're playthings of big companies, you know. And when not, you know, oh, poor Mixer. Mixer was a good idea. In fact, it had strengths that YouTube that Twitch didn't have. But it Mixer was Microsoft's attempt to compete with Twitch. And weirdly, Mixer actually had some pretty good ideas that I wish. Yeah. Really? Holy shit. That oh fucking hell. Are they doing that? Yeah, they've been doing stuff like that. Ugh. Listen, all I'm saying is that it's good for everybody here to have a YouTube channel as backup. Oh, that sucks. Oh, fuck that shit. And what if we all started? What if we all started doing Podbean? Huh? Everybody want to do Podbean? Yeah. Oh well. Podbean is a. Okay, so Podbean is like a podcasting / live streaming app where you can upload episodes. It's where where you upload episodes of podcasts, and I'm subscribed to it. And me and Funk and Araya recorded an episode of a podcast. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Well, they're not making money off of you. That's why. Do you feel like one? That was fun. We should do that again. I liked doing that, but that was a fun night. But then it's hard to it's one of those things where it's like you want to do it, and then it's like it's hard to get for people's schedules to line up. And that's what sucks. Yeah. Do people here know how to dual stream? I've been thinking of starting to dual stream these. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Podbean. Well, I was going to say Podbean, but then you could just do it here on Twitch, I guess. Podbean has a live podcast feature. That's what I was saying. Podbean also is a live audio streamer, so it just streams your voice live. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's annoying. Did they about a year ago they said it was okay, and now they're that's bullshit. That frustrates me. I don't know. The thing about Twitch is, if we really want to get into it, the thing about Twitch is that, well, one, I don't understand why, everybody can't just make money. Like, why the affiliate program is, yeah. I mean, I've done it several times. I've done it a few times before, and I never got in trouble for it. I mean, I've seen a ton of people do it. Listen, as long as none of you are freaking narcs, don't be a narc. You know what I miss? You know what I miss? You know who used to have a really great streaming platform? Reddit used to have a fucking amazing streaming platform. And I'm mad that they got rid of it. You would get a ton of people in your Reddit. Anytime I streamed on Reddit, I would get a lot of people. And I'm like, it's infuriating that we lost that. They decided to cut that out because it wasn't... Like, I don't know why there weren't ads or, like, a way to make money from that. Like, if they shared the profits with people, like, I guarantee you tons of people would have joined it. Anyways, sorry. Publishing. It's totally worthless now. Yeah. It's totally... I don't know. Sorry, I'm in kind of a complaining mood about platforms and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I may have a weird answer. Ooh. Well, I remember when Instagram was brown. I believe Twitter is blue. And is TikTok white? Or no, I think Instagram is white now and TikTok is blue. Yeah. Yeah. Well, didn't Instagram initially start off as like kind of brown? Branding is hard. Branding is very hard. Yeah. It's funny that Instagram, I don't know if people remember this, that Instagram started off as a Foursquare ripoff. Is Foursquare still a thing? I feel like I asked this, like, are there like still Foursquare influencers? What a life, right? Foursquare. Foursquare. Okay. Okay. Serious question. This will be the most serious. This will be the most serious question you're ever asked. What was your favorite, like, childhood ball game? And then I have another. Dodgeball was fun. I was always so bad at wall ball. I was always so bad at wall ball, but all the kids loved wall ball, and so I played it, but I was really bad at it. Why aren't any of these games in the Olympics? Huh? Huh? Olympic Committee, why aren't you in the Why haven't they allowed? I wonder if there's like a pro wall ball league or something. Pro wall. Yeah, there. Oh yeah. The Wall Ball Association. No, handball. I think handball is in fact one of the first sports that was in the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. You ever notice? Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. You ever notice that, like, really, there's only like almost every there's really only like almost all, like there's a ton of sports that are just basically the same game, pretty much. Okay, like so, soccer, football, hockey, basketball, handball, lacrosse, water polo, are all like they're all okay. Here's how the sport works. There are two goals, two teams. The teams are trying to get the thing into the other team's goal. And then it's just like a million variations on the same concept. Dodgeball is fun. Dodgeball is a very fun game. I liked playing dodgeball as a kid. Was it influenced by the greatest movie ever made? Dodgeball? You know what I was good at? I was good at no. Funk, I am not shocked that you were good at dodging. Funk, you got the dancer. You know, you can like. Okay, now here's an even more serious question. Beautiful. I have an even more serious question for you. Okay. And this one's for everybody. If you were a professional wrestler, what would your gimmick be? Listen, a goalie's job is mainly to get hit by just spikes. You'd come in with like, you'd be in like one of those like those like pool balls. I love it. Listen, what we need is more. You'd be Scott Sterling? Oh, I don't know. I should know more about. I may be writing something wrestling related. I have an idea for a wrestling related thing. Oh. Oh right, yeah, because you said a ballerina themed wrestler, and then we found an actual ballerina themed wrestler, Ricky Starr. God rest his soul. Hey, have you guys ever read like Jerry Springer's like biography? Like Jerry Springer has like the weirdest life story. Do you know that he was mayor of Cincinnati? And that he was born during during underground during the London bombings in World War II. Yeah, like you didn't realize that, Raven? People like them some pro wrestling because it's honestly it's pretty fun. I've been kind of watching it lately. I have an idea for something, and I'm researching pro wrestling, and it's. I'm gonna say it. I'm starting to become a. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna throw it out here, everybody. I'm starting to become sort of a fan of pro wrestling. I'm sorry. It can be pretty darn fun. Yeah, but so are movies are fake, and that doesn't matter. It's not. I would not call it a sport. I would call it an athletic display or an athletic theater. More than a. I mean, okay, if we really want to get into it. Yeah, that's. If we really want to get into it, it may not be that. I was thinking about this recently. It may not be that removed from, say, something like gymnastics, if we really want to think about it. Because, like. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, isn't it coincidental that, like, say, basketball, like the biggest teams in basketball are all the ones where the most people in the biggest cities? Like, isn't it weird that both, like, the Lakers and the Lakers who are in Los Angeles are like the best team, and they're also in the biggest city with the biggest audience share? It's so weird. I don't think basketball is rigged, but the NBA definitely would rather have. The NBA would definitely rather have the Lakers win than, like, say, the Spurs. I say that for a very specific. Was it the? Oh, listen, I know. See, was it the Spurs? There's an infamous game. There's an infamous game in basketball history, They talk about this a lot. I believe it was the Lakers versus the Spurs. And the Spurs are a minor market team compared to the Lakers. And the Spurs were having a great year, and they were most likely going to make it into the championship. I think it was the Spurs. And this is like we're most likely going to make it into the championship, but they faced off against let's see, I gotta get this right. Anyway, so basically what happened was like mysteriously Kobe Bryant broke somebody's nose. That's just what happened. And during the game, and in an instant like that, he would have been thrown out. But he wasn't for some reason, and it's been mysteriously the Lakers performed a number of fouls on the Spurs that year. Was it? I'm forgetting if it was the Spurs or the Nuggets. It may have been the Nuggets, but they weren't called out on it. But mysteriously, they were the Spurs were really called out on. Had a lot of much more fouls than the Lakers were called. And the Lakers ended up winning that game and getting to the championship. That's kind of... So, major sports federations are usually really try and weigh the scales to make sure that the bigger teams get into the championship. Is usually the accusation. So it's not really fixed or rigged. But they really would rather bigger teams get in. Yeah. So anyways, whereas pro wrestling is good old-fashioned fun of seeing two giant muscle men do elaborate choreographed fights between each other. And I think, yeah. Well, the accusation has always been that the refs kind of just do. Anyways. Yeah, so there has been accusations before that sports organizations like the NBA really want teams like the Lakers to win. Also, if I could get in a brief complaint about sports some more, I know with this crowd talking about sports is like talking about I don't know putrefaction of vultures. People don't want to hear it, but I really hate how the basketball championship doesn't have a fancy name to it. Literally every other sports championship has a cool name to it. There's the World Series for baseball, the Super Bowl for football, the World Cup for soccer. But do you know what? But basketball, one of the most popular games in the world. In the NBA, one of the best organizations for basketball. Do you know what they call their ultimate game? The championship. Yeah. Yes, we have to invent one right now. All of us are gonna brainstorm one. The little little piggy ball. The little piggy game. That's what we'll call it. Little piggy game. I think people will accept that. Instead of calling it the basketball championship, we'll call it the little piggy game. Starring your favorite gosh down country fried players. Of course, this goes into my further innovation with basketball that we should allow several live pigs into the game so that they can, run around and cause general mischief. You think basketball's exciting now, but imagine LeBron James having to negotiate his way around a very skittish pig. Yeah. I mean, my favorite sport is baseball. And when you say that you like baseball, well, I have a similar innovation with football. We let a little piggy into the football field, and they have to skid around the little piggies. My innovation with baseball is that it's perfect and doesn't need anything. Who's your team, Raven? Who's your team in hockey? Who do you cheer for? Are you Seattle Krakens fan? You're originally from Oregon, right? Am I misremembering that? This house here was briefly considering moving to Oregon. But of course, when Mankind and the Undertaker fought in the Hell in the Cell cage match, and the Mankind and the Undertaker chokeslammed Mankind, and he fell through the railing and onto the floor, and as they were taking him away on the stretcher, Mankind freaking got up, and the Hardcore King Mick Foley climbed back onto the cell and finished the match. Woo! Then Rey Mysterio Jr. comes out, and him and his son Dominic are in a blood feud, and it's heartbreaking because all Rey Mysterio wants to be is have his family back together again. But Dominic has this desire to get out of his father's shadow, and then they're gonna settle it, Raven. They're gonna settle it at WrestleMania. WrestleMania. So how's the dragon turn out good? Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly right. Jim Morrison got discovered. He got. Did he? A little bit. Of course, it can improve on that beautiful ending of Game of Thrones that everybody loved. I think it's so beautiful how Game of Thrones ultimately swerved us. Did they really? Wow. Would have the sex scenes just been too sexy? Okay, so I've had the thought for a while. So, like, the whole, Game of Thrones and, the whole World of Westeros, Song of Fire and Ice stuff is kind of is a loose retelling of English history. And so that means, if we really think about this, ultimately all of this ends with, like, Charles, right? Like, this all ends with, like, Charles III, right? Like, that's the end point of all of this, is, like, Charles III. Do you think Charles III would have sex magic? Do you think Charles III would finally be able to, like, fulfill his lifelong dream of turning into a tampon? Turning into it. Well, Charles's parents, for one, they're third cousins. Stupidly. I find that. Yeah. You know what's funny? You guys want to learn a funny history fact that I learned a little bit ago? Yeah, don't put that image. Do you know that, like, actually, like, royal families royalty preferred marrying closer relative, and this is true. This is true. The reason they preferred it was because it was one of the only ways they could get divorced if it didn't work out, because they would just go to the Pope and they'd go like, well, it's incestuous. Well, we have to get divorced. Isn't that, like, fucked up? Yeah, that was part of the reason they kept doing it. It's because they couldn't get divorced really any other way. Oh boy. These three sentences right here, they're real, like... I don't like them, but... Well. That's part of it. Funk, there are Funk. There are several reasons why I did that. Yeah. Well, I mean, by the end of it, a lot of them like were like kind of had the mentality of like a child and stuff. If you really think about it, like it was to, and God appointed them personally to run their nations. That's what it's like when I play Crusader Kings. I eventually declare myself Pope, usually. Although I have to say, like one of the things I find with Crusader Kings, it does get kind of boring once you're like almost totally in charge of everything. Like the fun kind of goes out of it like once you're like just in charge and like nobody can stop you anymore. Like you're Pope, you're the emperor of almost all the world. And it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now? Just get richer? Like I'm playing a game right now where I conquered I rule almost all of. Yeah, Raven. It's on. Do you play Crusader King? Yeah, that's the thing. See, Crusader Kings is really fun. It's funny at times. It's fun because there's a lot of chance for you to create your own like good stories. Like there's no, it's just the verve of history, and there's a lot of fun in it that like stories just kind of develop naturally. But like there is a thing when if you get too good at a video game, you kind of remove all the stories from it. It's a lot more fun to be like in desperate struggles in a video game than to be like just everything's going really good and you're doing awesome at all times. I play 3. Although I officially, I'm not letting myself play it again until the magazine is out, so I haven't played it in a while. Did you play 2? I believe 2 is free now, so if people are interested, I don't know. I like the cleaner presentation of 3. I think 2 has a lot of like. Yeah, 3 is getting pretty supported as well. Like it took a little bit for the mod community to pop up around 3, but they've got a lot of mods going. They've got a lot of mod stuff going as well. My biggest complaint, yeah, it's got like my big criticism for 3 is like clearly it's gotten a few expansion packs now, and like my thing always with expansion packs is you can clearly tell like this was like content that was supposed to be in the game initially, but it was like they just didn't have time to do it all. So it's like, oh, like now several of the mechanics that seem to exist for no reason make a lot more sense. Funny that. And that's I always feel that about like these games with expansions. It's like, oh, you planned for these expansions to happen precisely, didn't you? Like I really liked the new one where it's like you can now like travel around your realm and stuff. That's like really fun, and you can pretty much travel around the world. And it creates like extra elements where it's like you can go outside of your like little castle and you can go into like foreign locales and stuff, and you're not exactly you have to account for not exactly being safe. Can you survive it? And it's always fun to like try and go as far as you can to see if your character can survive going as far as they can. Anyways, yeah. I like that. I think that's fun. Of course, I'm very boring and I like dad games. Good funk. Good. Good to pin that. No, it's true. Stories do need conflicts. Don't you love it like an Yeah. Oh, tragedy. Tragedy. But games have only gotten so good lately. I mean, obviously almost all of them are live services, and yes, you have to buy the game and then buy microtransactions to make a lot of it work. And most of them are about grinding so you can afford currencies to buy things. But that's okay because you can skip that with microtransactions. And you get subtle variations on your costume slowly but surely. Also, they've just gotten, like, they're so good right now. Gaming has entered a golden age. Really? Jesus. But yeah. But that's so good of them. Think about it. Instead of like, I like open world games. I legitimately like open world games. I find them very fun to play, but like I like open world games because open world games are fun to kind of get lost in and they have a lot of like cool content usually. It's not fun when they're just like, well, kill like 20 enemies. Okay. Like, kill like 30 enemies. Okay. Kill like 40 enemies now. Like, that's MMO bullshit, you know? Like, sandboxes and, like, open world games are supposed to be kind of a free roaming, like, a traveling hero sort of thing, not a. No, I think. No. I think. Listen, be like Muammar Gaddafi in his short story collection. Most of them are just long rants about how terrible it is to be in charge of Libya, with occasional stories. Yes. Of course I'm serious. Muammar Gaddafi released a book of short stories. You know who also released several books? Saddam Hussein. Yeah, pretty much. Gaddafi was just like, oh, it's so terrible. Everybody's so mean to me, and it's like, oh, ugh. Right? That's Muammar. Good old Mummy. Where Saddam also has released Saddam also wrote some fiction books, if you're curious. Now, when you look at Saddam Hussein, is your first thought erotica? Beautiful, beautiful erotic literature? Oh, I don't. Is it because the podcast I recommended you, Funk, where I first heard a bit about it? No, I knew that Saddam Hussein had written a book a while before. It's funny that he went into that. see. Yeah, there it is. Zaba and the King. I am tempted. I've been tempted before. Did Castro... Like, I think they all did at some point. They all, like, had, like, things. I've been tempted before to, like, try and write... do a live read of that, of Saddam Hussein's book. It's been very tempting. Let's see. Castro. Write a book. Yeah, I mean, he wrote like political treatises and stuff. Oh, I love that. Yeah, he would. I've heard that. I've heard that. That he yes, yeah. Oh my god. He was trying. Yeah, he got obsessed with like cream and like he wanted to engineer great cows for He wanted to engineer like cows, and he like fiction by Dick. Let's see who wrote fiction by dictators. Nah. Dictators who wrote books. I'm just curious. Because there was, I know the former king of Cambodia, who was the last king of Cambodia, also wrote, directed movies, I believe. And he would always cast himself. He directed movies, and he would always cast himself as the hero, and his wife as the heroine. And was there stuff? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, there's a current king. Who am I thinking of? Oh, I didn't know that it still existed. Good. Yeah, there it is. This is, yeah, his... Is this, who is he? Oh, his father. His father is, I guess they like his son. But his father is, Normdom, not a good person. Not a good person. Did a lot of awful things to people. But he directed a bunch of movies, which is funny to me. About how cool and sexy he was, and how hard it is to be king of anything. Oh boy. What do you guys say? Should I do a reading of Saddam Hussein's book? I've been tempted to before. Like, maybe I'll do that over on YouTube. Maybe I'll do a reading on YouTube of Saddam Hussein's book one of these days. You guys want to see a thing I have? You may think a little bit bad of me for having this book. Yeah. Sure. I mean, I'll read it and then review it on my book, on my zine. You guys want to see a particular book I've had in my library for many a year? You may think a little negatively about me for owning this, but here it is. On the Art of Cinema by Kim Jong-il. This is Kim Jong-il's treatise on filmmaking. Art and literature are important activities which are indispensable to a fully human life. Food, clothing, and housing are essential material conditions for human existence, but man is not satisfied with those alone. The freer man is from the fetters of nature and society, and from worries over food, clothing, and housing. The greater his need for art and literature. Life without art and literature is unimaginable. I mean, he's not wrong. Wrong on that point. That's not a terrible point to make. No, I did not. I found it in a used bookstore. I found it explicitly used from a used bookstore. So at some point, maybe, but I did not pay Kim directly for it. Yeah. That was the only way I would feel. I don't know if people have picked up on this yet. I was a tiny bit of a sort of an edgelord at some back in my youth, just a little bit. And that was one thing I'd like to screw, like in film school. I'd like to screw with people by like bringing that book into class and like arguing because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just get that and I mean I still think it's a little funny, but it's like probably not a great thing to do. What a totally normal thing to like have in your library. Okay, you guys want to see what Amazon recommends with Zaba and the King? Muammar Gaddafi's The Green Book. A perfect gift for Father's Day. Oh yeah, I'm gonna follow Muammar. I want to read everything he has to read. Okay, if I could briefly. If I could briefly complain about something, and I get why people do it. So, I get why people do it. I understand the realities of the modern internet structure that needs for these sorts of things to happen. But I really hate how like books are titled now like this. like twisted love, a brother's best friend romance. Where it's like, where they have to explain like all the, like they have to like summarize the plot. Yeah. I get it. Listen to me. As Kim Jong-il would say, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm pretty sure Kim Jong-il said that. But it's annoying. It's just, I find it just annoying. I get why you do it. I don't judge anybody for doing it, but I wish we didn't live in a society where that was a thing. Should I buy Zebin the King? I'm tempted to. SEO is a son of a gun. I'll say that. You know, I was living in the Middle East when the Iraq War first started, right? Well, of course he doesn't. How could he? He also scored the best golf game ever and was, and you know, won every Oscar. And, no, like, there's some crazy bullshit he claimed. Like, and when he died, everybody, they saw a unicorn. Yeah. But listen, Funk. Good news. It's generally accepted now that Kim Jong-un's little sister is the one who's really in charge. So, you know, the ladies are doing it for themselves now. Isn't that inspiring? We love that for North Korea. Yeah, we just love it. No problem. Kim Yo-jong, I think. Yeah. She's great. She's great. Look at her. Everything is good now. Oh, that's... What are you talking about? She's a good person. Good person. We love the Kims, the good people. We love the Kims, the good people, Listen, Kim Jong-un. Exactly. Listen, Kim Jong Un, it can do. Yeah. Oh, Tez, thank you so much for the follow. Tez. The good people, the nice people, they hang out. I saw them. I saw them yesterday. He was good. He was very good. This is my Trump, everybody. This is me doing Trump. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just not that great of an impressionist. Oh, I'm tired. It's wonderful. They love me. And they love me. Yeah. You know who can do like a really good impression? I knew that guy that got an SNL. That guy can do an amazing impersonation. Of course, it can't beat the greatest. Alec Baldwin. There's no better impersonation than Alec the Balds. You know, it's weird. Okay, a little rant on impersonations. I sometimes think people shouldn't even really try them, and they should just try and play the character. Like Chevy Chase famously parodied Gerald Ford, and he didn't even look like him. He just played Gerald Ford as he would be like, you know, and that's like still one of the more famous impressions that SNL did. I don't know. I mean, getting the voice right is like famous, but it's you know. Also, remember if you watched any Simpsons episodes lately, there's a good chance you supported the North Korean government. Anyway, see, several animation studios got caught subsidizing their work to North Korean animators. You know, there's a website where you can watch North Korean television. Saw the name of it in this video and I tried to. Forgot what the name of it exactly is. What was that? Oh, fuck, I don't remember. I saw it a little bit ago, and then I don't remember where it was. This one. Anyways, Tez, are you still here? Are you still my best friend, Tez? Boy, am I tired. I'm getting sleepy too. How about we raid somebody? Let's spread the love. Does that sound good? I didn't get as much work. Let's find somebody. Oh, the problem is staying up this late is like nobody's on. Really? Okay. This person's a writer, even though they're not writing right now. One last. If you're not, one last little before you go. Remember, Substack. Really would support. Really would. Really appreciate people subscribing to that, for the support for that, because it's you know, it's a big deal. Oh yeah, 1 second. Nope, that was wrong. I appreciate it, but also don't. There it is. Anyways. Okay. Night.